Greetings, Benjamin J. from BENZTRAINZ with another in the series. Well, here is that 1666, basically finished, except for getting the rust off of the push rods. I cleaned up the body as best I could without actually disassembling it and soaking it in water. And got all the rust off the screws, as you see, and just used the torch trick and blackened them. And that will save an old rusty screw or any silver screw, turn it black, and makes it look brand new again. So I got most of the crud and the corrosion off. Still have to do the push rods, like I said. And as you can see, the only way to really clean this is to disassemble it and dunk it down into a sink full of hot soapy water, which I might do. We'll see, but I got it cleaned up. The smoker is a goner. The wire in the smoker is rusted through. And you can jiggle it around, the ends will touch and it'll start to smoke and then it stops. And these smokers, all they are is a piece of nichrome wire, just like in a toaster. And there's about 3 turns wrapped around a wick out of a Zippo lighter. It looks exactly like a Zippo lighter wick. And that little coil just gets hot. And you put oil on it, it gets hot enough to make the oil smoke. That's the entire smoker. And of course, then it has a bellows on the bottom to blow air up through it. So it's not worth fixing as far as the smoker goes. It's a major ordeal to dismantle it, rewrap it, put it back together, reassemble it. Smoking isn't that important to me. Just the fact that I've got a nice 1666 that runs well. I now have 5 of them, I think. Anyway, just got it back on the rail, so I thought I'd do a quick follow-up. This engine is running really well. Definitely worth the 12 bucks. So if you're looking to get into this on a budget, this is the way to do it. Find an old engine and fix it. As you see, there's no damage to it at all. It's actually in quite good shape. It's just that it was so badly stored that nothing worked. The E-unit was full of oxide and didn't work. The smoker's gone. But as far as getting it running, it only takes a few minutes to do that. So I'll get this rust off the push rods. I'll very likely just scrape it off, oil it and scrape it with a razor blade, and that takes about 99% of that rust right off of there. And then just give it a real quick buff with an emery cloth, and it's up and running. Anyway, I just wanted to take it around the rail. So still on the 3rd rail, pulling 20 Marx cars. So definitely worth 12 bucks, no doubt. So if you really want to clean it up, you just disassemble it, dunk it down in a sink full of hot soapy water and scrub it. That'll get all the crud and junk off of it. And like I said, I don't have much more to do to this. I'll get the rust off the push rods. Like I said, I'll just oil them and scrape them with a razor blade, very likely, and then a quick buff with an emery cloth, and the engine is basically finished. So the screws came out looking virtually new. No more rust. They're black. Used the black oxide trick using a torch and then submersing them in oil. Turns them black, and they will remain black forever, and they will no longer rust. That's the nice thing about it. It's just like bluing a gun. So all in all, a really decent engine for 12 bucks. So always fun to find an old engine in really terrible condition and bring it back to life. So just a quick follow-up on this 1666. Neat old engine, and definitely worth the 12 bucks, and running quite well. So as I always stress, don't overlook the junk. You can do this on an absolute shoestring. It doesn't take much at all. And this engine's been here a grand total of about 4.5 hours now. And running at about 50% power. So, really pleased with this one. Came out good, runs well, looks nice, no damage. Complete front and rear trucks. So, a fun few hours, and I have a new 1666. So I just wanted to do a follow-up video. Once this is really cleaned up, it's going to look almost new. You'd never know this was a $12 wreck from eBay. So just a quick video on the 1666. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to drop me an email, BENZTRAINZ@gmail.com. And as always, thank you for watching.